with regard to networking specifically, I want to give like a quick helpful tip for YouTube. Growing up, this has been adjusted a little bit as time's gone on because YouTube is always messing with their algorithms. But how I found a lot of the people that I collaborate with like every day is I just searched in the YouTube field for a topic or a game or something of that nature. Even just sometimes search like Let's Play or something. And then naturally, you're going to get a ton of results from like really popular YouTubers. But there's a nice little trick you can do. And that trick involves filters. In YouTube, you can filter looking for specifically videos uploaded by date. And then it will show you a list of all the things uploaded like that day. Again, YouTube changes some things every once in a while. A while ago, this thing was completely busted for several months. It just didn't work. I think it's fixed now, but it's definitely worth a shot. If you just search by date, then you're going to see a lot smaller channels that have been uploading. And not only will this bring up channels that aren't just appearing because the algorithm said, hey, these guys are cool, they're appearing because they uploaded recently. And if they uploaded recently, that means they're a relatively active user. There's tons and tons of inactive YouTube users out there who used to create content and no longer do. But this is a great way of finding people who still make content and who are probably a small enough channel that you can actually collaborate with them. I have had a very, 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 very high success rate as a small YouTuber, just searching people and filtering it by date and then asking them to collaborate. Almost every person you ask who is about the same size as you or even just like a little bit bigger will be flattered and interested in what you have to say just because you reached out to them. And I imagine if someone reached out to you as a small YouTuber to collaborate, I imagine you might feel the same way. You might feel, yeah, I mean, if this guy wants to hang out with me and record, let's hang out and record. And that's been a really helpful way for me to network. Another thing is just kind of getting involved in individual gaming communities. What's really nice about the internet right now is the rise of Discord. And with Discord comes many different Discord communities. A big community I've collaborated with a lot is the UHC community, because the UHC is a very collaborative game. And a long time ago, back in 2016 or something, I decided I want to make a PvP UHC. And the first thing I did was went to the UHC Reddit, because subreddits are also another great place to find other people. And I looked through the different videos being uploaded there and then went to a couple different links. I found a couple links of channels that were a lot bigger than mine, and I just thought they're probably not going to collaborate. There's always a chance. There's no harm in asking a larger channel. I mean, some of the really large ones, like even if you get to if you get to like the 1 million plus subscriber counts, it's a lot less likely, and your time might be better spent elsewhere. But even just channels in like the tens of thousands of subscribers, I've been able to collaborate with one or two of them before, and it's not because of me, it's because of the subject that I'm presenting that is genuinely interested to them. So when you ask people to collaborate, try to present your idea as it is, unless like, hey, I'm like a really cool person, I think you should like hang out with me or whatnot. I don't know. Every once in a while I'll get like a recorded round invite, which is the UHC that Minecraft UHC. If you can look it up if you want to know what it is. But I get an invite every once in a while, and sometimes the invite just is very centric around the person who's talking about it, as opposed to what they're actually inviting me to. And that's kind of a sign of something that I don't usually want to join, because it means that the event itself is not something that they're particularly fascinated in. They're just fascinated in people and hanging out with them or whatnot. And hanging out with people is fine. It's just, if you're looking for content in collaboration, then you want to make sure the content itself can kind of hold up and that people aren't just trying to leech off of possibly slightly bigger people. Networking works best when all parties really like each other. And that's just obvious. That's not even like a Pat Nat quote. That's just something that everybody pretty much knows. So just look out for gaming communities. Be careful how you present your ideas to people. Make sure that your ideas are something that kind of relates to them too. For an example, you wouldn't want to go to a YouTuber who only plays StarCraft, who only uploads StarCraft content, and ask them, hey, want to come on Hypixel on Minecraft and play with me? It's like, oh, well, how do you even know they play Minecraft? Like, they're a StarCraft channel, you know what I mean? However, if you also play StarCraft and then you ask them to play StarCraft with you, they'll probably say yes, I imagine, because I don't think the StarCraft community is super big. Or maybe that one's a little bit big. I don't know. I'm just saying, basically look out for people who have similar interests to you, and then obviously you're going to have a higher success rate at bringing people in. But looking for people who are the same size as you 99% of the time, if you ask them to collaborate on a big project, they're probably gonna say this because they don't get asked that super often. I think it was Tom Peeler from Sycamore Street Studios. I'm pretty sure I first started collaborating with him because of through channel searching. I don't think I actually searched for his channel, but there's a channel adjacent to it that I searched for through the YouTube filters, and he hadn't been collaborated with super often. His name's Jordan. He unfortunately passed away back in 2016. But because of him, I was able to also network and then meet Tom Peeler from Sycamore Street Studios, who I still collaborate with to this day. Not as often as I'd like. We're both busy people, but still. And then you just basically find people who know people. And because everybody's got a similar interest and everyone has a similar interest, then naturally you're going to want to both create something similar. So that's honestly, I think, a really good way to network is just look in Discord communities, look for people who are similar to you. Be careful about advertising rules. You don't want to come across as advertising. You want to come across as someone who's interested in collaboration. Very dangerous tightrope sometimes. Smaller Discord servers, usually better than bigger ones because the pool is a little bit more refined and people are less concerned about mass advertising. If you go into just straight up Minecraft the Discord and then you start looking for people to collaborate, you're just asking a really big pool, and then it starts to feel a little bit less personal. But if you go into a group that's specifically for like UHCs or something, right? Then it's a lot easier to find people who are more tailored towards your interest and who you can easily relate to because there's less people in there. So like the ideas are a little bit more refined, basically. Does that make sense? Might not make sense. I'm sorry about that. That's just my general take on networking. Find people who you want to be friends with and then find their friends. And once you find someone who you know you're going to want to collaborate with, hold on to that. Like, remember who that person is and think like, okay, like write him down in the mental list. Like, hey, like this guy would be great to do collaboration with this. I'm going to keep that in mind. A lot of the people on Cakecore is just through like, I talked to someone at some point and thought like, hey, I would love to collaborate with this person. Panda, he's been on the channel several times now. We literally found him playing CSGO. He was someone who randomly joined our team because we didn't have enough people. And I just had this gut feeling when talking to him. I invited him over to our group, and then we hung out a little bit more. Now, he's one of the people I hang out with the most online, and I obviously have invited him to several different projects because he's someone who really fits that atmosphere. He's someone I get along with, and he's someone who enjoys those kind of games. So you just got to hold on to that. Every time you make a new friend online, just think of different ways you could collaborate with someone, even if you don't collaborate with them, you know? And if you can't think of any way to collaborate with them, then it's probably just not going to work out. And that's okay. You can have friends who you don't collaborate with, obviously. But yeah, that's just my general take on networking. It is difficult. Hey there. You just watched a clip from my creative podcast. If you'd like to check out the full episode, you can support me over on Patreon. And if not, you can subscribe to check out more clips coming here soon.